All right, here we go. Today we welcome back former NBA player Sebastian Telfair and his brother Peter. And unfortunately, we're doing Sebastian's last interview before he turns himself into prison tomorrow. Sebastian and Peter, welcome to Vlad TV.
What's good, Vlad?
What's good?
Okay, so this case involves former NBA players who allegedly submitted false invoices to healthcare providers in what they say is a scheme to defraud the NBA's player health and welfare benefit plan. So you're being accused of, your role in the scheme where they say you netted $358,000 through fraudulent claims. Now, originally you had a plea deal with prosecutors that you served 15 to 21 months. But you were actually sentenced to time served and 3 years of supervised release in order to pay restitution. But then at one point, they say things went wrong. Now, explain what led up to this point and what exactly is happening right now.
No, I was on probation after being sentenced, basically. So just basically struggling on probation, just kind of, staying within the rules, what they need me to do.
Okay, so according to the judge, you actually had a conditional release and you failed to meet the terms of this release.
Facts, but it really was the timing because I was coming off my state case. I'm coming off my state case and then I got on federal probation. And what I didn't understand was that I was gonna have to stay in New York. So that confused me and my family because the whole time when I had the ankle monitor on, waiting to get off of probation for the state and then getting sentenced to the Fed case, I didn't understand I still had to stay in New York City. So that threw me for a loop. I wasn't able to go from the ankle monitor to doing probation with the feds and, just basically doing everything they asked me to do. I was basically struggling, not, with the news of you got to stay in New York also. Like that shit just kind of blew me. Me and my family, because we made so many plans for me to leave New York soon the case was over. So I don't know. Probation was kind of whack, and it was just really kind of trying to turn me into I don't know. They want me to go work at McDonald's. That's the real truth.
Well, I guess the terms of the probation is that you had to get a job, check in with your probation officer, and pay restitution.
They trying to break his spirit. Like, they trying to break his spirit, basically. Like, they trying to break his spirit. Like, if you would keep on going through the hoopla, they trying to break his spirit. Millionaire nigga since 17, you understand? Trying to break his spirit. They don't like him coming in there like that. You understand?
So it was a lot more than that, too, though. They had me doing therapy, drug tests, every Friday go check in. It is a lot. And they didn't count what we was doing as far as doing interviews, doing podcasts, had an opportunity to be on Love and Hip Hop. They didn't count that as work.
Facts.
They wouldn't count that as work. So if I'm showing them income, they not counting that as work. They wanted me to go get a basic 9-to-5 job. So that's what my brother mean. Like they was basically trying to break my spirit.
Facts.
Okay, because you've done Vlad TV interviews before, and I've paid you for some of these interviews. And
Yes.
there was an invoice, there was a payment. If they asked me, I would have confirmed that you're getting paid, you're doing a job. So
No.
why did that not qualify as a job?
Because then that type of job is like, it's kind of freedom. They don't want me to be free in that type of way. So I don't know. They definitely want a 9-to-5 where it's like I'm like paying some, I'm making maybe $40,000 and paying taxes on it. They want me at McDonald's, I ain't gonna lie, and break my spirit. You gotta remember who I am and how they looking at me and the things I did in my community. So they like, oh, mister, you wanna build the community over, you building gyms and all that? Like,
Oh, Mr. Community Service, we're gonna actually lock you up for community service violation. See the irony? You know what I'm trying to say?
that's what the violation is. It is community service. And I'm like, we don't know people that did more community service than me. It's crazy.
Okay, so the U.S. District Judge, Valerie E. Caproni, you actually talked to her recently, and you told her a lot of things were stacked against you and that sometimes you got stuck in the mud.
I did. I mean, New York, this being stuck in New York definitely killed my whole vibe. Definitely killed my vibe. I didn't understand. Once I pleaded into the Fed case, I thought I was just going to be a felon with the, feds, and I had to do what they needed me to do, but I didn't understand I had to do it from New York City, which I've been struggling on. And when we showed them the contract, we was going to Miami. Me and my brother, we had the full contract to go to Miami. Everything is set, living, everything was paid for. And they was like, nah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't accept that as a job.
So yeah,
with payment and everything, money and all that, they was like, no. So it took me some time to adjust where it's like, all right, so I can't do the podcast. I can't go do seminars at the school. I showed them, I'll be doing Fordham and St. John's and stuff. I'm showing them $5,000 checks for me to talk for an hour. And that definitely did not help me at all.
Well, yeah, according to the judge, she said that you did absolutely nothing to get a job, and you thumbed your nose at your probation officer and me over and over.
So why would you need a job if you're a boss? Why would you need a job if you're independent? Why would you need a job if you've been fucking a millionaire since you was 17? They could see the accounts like we could see the accounts. Yeah, shit is frozen. And like, come on, like just stop it. Just stop it. Just stop. So I need y'all to ask tougher questions to judge or prosecutor Broleone, whoever her name is. You understand?
I'm not making it personal with the judge at all. Y'all tripping?
Nah.
y'all tripping. But yeah, I agree but disagree. No, me going to jail for community service, I took millions of dollars out of my pocket and put it back into my community, out of my family mouth. And I showed them even like in last year. So the first year I was on the probation, I struggled. When they said you got to stay in New York, I was having a hard time with doing what they asked me to do. Basically sending a paper of the community service I was actually doing. They didn't care about the videos and basically looking on my Instagram and things like that. I just wasn't good with my paperwork. And that shit really penalized me. They was mad at me for not, like, they looking at me like, are you crazy? Like, I struggled doing that shit. But it is retarded with the job shit. And I'm like, hold on. So I'm really not free because I can't go create my own employment. If you're on federal probation, you can't create your own employment. And that don't make no sense to me.
Well, the judge also pointed out that you owe a large amount in restitution, but you only
this what this about. This what this is about. Oh, see? You get into it, Vlad.
How much is it, Vlad? What they say?
Watch this.
How much is it?
This is called friendly extortion.
How much do you owe in restitution right now?
Well, you just about to say the number. Hold on. You was just about to say the number. You tell us.
Okay, well, I mean, the number that I mentioned before was like $380,000.
Oh.
Or $358,000.
Something like that.
So is that what you owe in restitution?
Yes. But who am I paying back? That's the problem with the whole thing, where it took me some time where like, yeah, I gotta go sit in jail for me to basically understand the conversation. This came out of my NBA account. Do the people understand that? I know y'all read it, y'all be like, oh, this is healthcare fraud and this and that and that. I'm like, no, this is coming out of Sebastian Telfair account for my paid services in the NBA. So I'm paying back the $380,000 to who now? So now I just give it to the system. It just goes to, you know what I'm saying? Because like Vlad, it's like if you was, I don't even want to give you a real analogy of it, but it's still, the shit just don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. And the NBA told them, you know what I'm saying, that they would step in and take care of it. And they like, no, they got to go through the process.
No, but you break it down for them. You took money from yourself. They trying to say you took money from yourself.
And I owe it back to them.
Right. So, like, how can who I'm paying this money to? I'm paying this money back to myself? So now y'all just get to charge us? So it's just like, come on.
It's basically fucking, yeah, I don't understand who owns our NBA accounts. That's the real question. Who owns our NBA accounts? I understand.
I bet you Kanye West.
I understand the wire fraud part of it, whatever. I understand that part of it, but who owns our NBA accounts?
I bet you Kanye West know who owns them accounts.
Well, what's interesting is that Judge Caproni, who sentenced you, also sentenced Glen Big Baby Davis to 40 months in prison and 3 years of supervised release over the same overall situation, right?
Yes.
Right. I actually interviewed him, I think maybe a year before he went to prison. He felt like he was good and, he's going to get probation and so forth, and he ended up getting locked up. I know he was shocked when it happened. We were actually supposed to do an interview right before he got locked up, but I think it just became too stressful for him leading up to it. And he's in prison right now as we speak.
For 3.5, how much money came out of his account? He in jail for free Big Baby. That shit is retarded. Free Terrence Williams. And I don't know, NBA, y'all not out of it. Y'all gotta step in this. You gotta, come on, we're buying them 18 months. That shit retarded.
Well, he's ordered to pay $80,000 in restitution, so I guess that's the amount.
Yeah, so Big Baby is doing 3.5 years for $80,000 that he took out of his own account. So y'all put that together. That is the Kanye conversation.
Crazy.
But I don't want no smoke with them. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, she said I ain't do nothing. So it was time and time again. They was telling me, you know, go sign up, you know, for McDonald's or something. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling them and showing them what I was doing, and that shit just basically backfired on me.
Okay, so tomorrow you turn yourself in for 6 months?
Yep.
Okay, and I remember we had talked before. There was another situation that you got locked up for, but you were kind of in and out, right? A couple of weeks?
What, for the state case?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I blew trial for the gun case, I was in for 30 days.
30 days, exactly.
I was in two weeks Rikers, 2 weeks downstate.
Okay, so you spent the whole 30 days or no?
Yeah, I was supposed to do 3.5 years, and I end up doing 30 days.
Okay, so 30 days up to this point was the longest time you've ever done.
Yes.
So now you're talking about 6 times that.
Yes.
And this is in federal court?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to the feds for 6 months. And I mean, good behavior, you'll get 85%.
Everybody be saying Vlad the feds. I shouldn't have did no Vlad interview. I'm like, God damn, Vlad. I'm starting to agree with them. You know I love you, Vlad. But I'm like, man, Vlad, you might be the feds, bro. God damn.
It's stupid.
Well,
all
listen,
this time.
I had absolutely no hand in what happened.
You know how
that's so convenient.
After our interview.
Look, I'm saying that's so convenient
man, fuck
and naive.
the feds, fuck your probation officer, blow that shit off. Do you? They can't do shit. I never said that to you ever in life.
No,
Not
but
at
you
all.
just said, Baby did the interview with you and he thought it was all good. And right after all that, you know what I'm trying to say, they smoked him with the 10-piece. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's just like, it's
3.5
just,
years
it's just
for
funny.
$80,000 of
It's just
his
funny.
money, and he paid. So it don't go back into your own account.
At this point, you're doing 6 months. Now, when you look back on the history of what led up to this, you know, we're all adults here. I understand that the things they were asking you to do, you didn't like, but at the end of the day, they make the rules, right? You could say the rules aren't fair, but the rules are laid out in a certain kind of capacity. In retrospect, do you feel like, okay, well, I wasn't gonna go work at McDonald's, but maybe I could find like a friend that can give me a 40-hour per week job to do something maybe sports related and, you know, put me on the books and so forth. Like I could have, you know, 'cause I'll be honest, if you came to me.
I did all that.
No,
I did all that. So before this point
let
of
me
me
just say
actually,
this.
get
Yeah, let me just say this. If you came to me and you said, Vlad, I have a situation and I need a 40-hour per week job or else I'm going to jail, could you do something? Pay me minimum wage and find something for me to do and just sign off these papers? I would have done it if I would have known. I had no idea. But I would have put you, I have a, you know, there's employees surrounding the office right now as we're doing this interview. I have full-time employees. I have a staff of about 10 people. I could have potentially put you on payroll and had you like do interviews and kind of show that maybe you had daily work. So instead of like one-stop shop where you get one check, it'll show an actual salary and so forth. We could have worked something out. I would have totally done that if I had any idea this is what you were going through. But you never told me.
They feel the same way. They know that everything that they was asking of me was a phone call away from me. And they was wondering why I wasn't making that phone call. But maybe that was my ego. Like, I ain't want nobody to go lie about me doing no motherfucking community service when I really did the most community service. Like, that, I showed you I built my projects over. I worked with Eric Adams and Mark Trigger and you know, people that's really running New York City. I did so much. So my ego was like so ahead, like what? For community service? Like, I don't know. I'm off that.
Yeah, man, it's tough. I mean, as someone that's known you now for a little while, done multiple interviews and had conversations, I feel bad. Like when I saw that, you know, that news thing, like I hit you right away. I'm like, is this true? And you're like, yeah. I was like,
and
damn.
then I got my babies. I got my babies. That's a whole nother side story.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, keep on moving the loophole. This is a victimless crime. Like, but the fuck all that.
So hold on. And I did all of that. By the time we get to this point where they sending me away, I did all that on paper. That was one phone call. I got hired a job to shit, all that. I did all that, Vlad. They ain't give a fuck. They, like my brother said, they want to break and need to break my spirit.
Facts. That's what it's designed to do. And that's what I'm showing them.
So it's a certain way that I'm able to go on with my life. They don't want me to, no, they don't want me here saying here getting paid for Vlad. They don't want that. They don't want that. I showed them that. Like, you think I ain't showed them? You think I didn't show them that? You crazy? And I knew that. I knew if I would have asked you that.
They never called me.
I know. They did not care about that.
Nobody ever called me to confirm. I can guarantee you that.
No, I'm telling you, they was not accepting it. They looked at it like, okay, we hear what you're saying, but they wasn't accepting that as a job or employment in any type of way. In any type of way. They're like, no, hell no. You ain't fill out no application to get that. They're like, no, so you will not continue to earn from your fruit from basketball and all that. They want to shut that off. And now I gotta be like, and I ain't dissing nobody, but like a lot of people whole MO is, I'm in jail. I've been out of jail. I'm in jail. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know where that ceiling is there for me with that. I don't want to be that. And then I'm upset that I really did do a lot of good work for them to be putting me in jail for this bullshit. Like, it's bullshit. But I want to definitely not be so personal, because when you ask me no questions like that, it is fetish. You know what I'm saying? Because you making it where it's like kind of personal with the judge, mentioning her name and shit like that. I don't got nothing personal against the judge. I got my babies that I care about. I don't want to be taking nothing personal with somebody that's holding me by my balls for victimless crimes type of shit. Now, I understand if it was like, you know what I'm saying? I understand if it was like the shits, but this is like talking about the NBA. But I'm talking about the NBA. You talking about the NBA. Fuck the NBA.
Well, look, Sebastian, you're 40 years old. 6 months is not a lot of time.
But it's still, but that's a lot of time away from my babies.
Right, yeah, I'm about to say.
I'm super daddy.
Say that to a 3-year-old.
I'm super daddy. A
3-year-old that depend on you. Tell her for 6 months you can't have that. You can't have that. You know what I'm trying to say? So you act like it's not enough. I don't really like that to dismiss it like that, but I understand though.
I'm not dismissing. I'm just saying the grand scheme of things, at 40 years old.
Not only you,
months,
I'm just talking about David.
A lot of people are way worse off, like Big Baby, who's doing like 3 years.
I agree. But I don't want to really rebuttal against that. But like I said, I don't think Big Baby ego is where mine is when it comes to what he gave back. And I said this to the NBA. I said, y'all got niggas in there y'all gave $400 million to, ain't do the shit I gave back. Ain't wasn't on y'all phone calling to get assistance for my community the way I did. And the NBA physically did all that shit with me. Every time I did a basketball court and I spent $20,000 of my money, NBA giving me $20,000. You know what I'm saying? We did mad work. So I'm looking at them like, what is this? And how did we end up here? This shit is retarded.
Well, look, man, keep your head up. You'll get through it. You'll come out. And, every negative situation has a positive aspect to it if you look at it that way. So, yeah, you got to sit down for 6 months, but that'll give you a chance to really think and reevaluate over those 6 months. You're not going to be, you won't have anything else to do. You won't have to multitask. You could just sit there and focus on yourself and come out a better person. And, I think that's the way you got to look at it, as opposed to, being frustrated with the situation, because 6 months will pass fairly quickly, man.
I agree. Shit could definitely be a lot worse, but this was simple. This is simple shit. I gotta get my shit together, point blank. This is all paperwork. This is all. The truth is, I have to make my life about me being on probation. That's the real truth. I could be in there and they got me upside down, torturing me, right? The second I walk out of the courtroom, I fucking call my babies and get back to my family, I forget about that. And now I just gotta just make everything about my probation, and so I could get through this and we can move on. Because my family, I'm stagnating my whole entire family.
In your last interview, you talked about how Kobe had side chicks, which everybody knew about. Everybody knew about. But people got really mad. People got really mad at you, particularly Steven Jackson.
You ever seen Kobe in the club?
Never.
Sheesh. Kobe had them chicks though.
Yeah?
Yes, he had them chicks. Yes, because I'll give y'all another Kobe story with the chicks. Shit, Vanessa ain't watching this. So yeah, my ex is in her, the little go out group with Emily and Piari and all them girls, whatever. And yeah, so it was this one chick in the group, I won't say her name, and she was the baddest. right? And she was a friend of all the girls and all this. And then she comes to LA. She's staying at my house. They all staying at my house in LA at this time. I think it's my ex-wife's birthday, right? And we playing against the Lakers. And she at the game with us. And then we ain't see her for 8 months. We ain't see her for 8 months. And I was like, yo, where is this girl at? And when she popped back up, yeah, she was living at the Palazzo right there. Across from, what's that mall out there in LA? What's the shopping mall outside?
Beverly Center?
Huh?
Beverly Center?
No,
the Grove?
Center. The Grove.
Yeah.
Kobe snatched her. Kobe must have been shooting a free throw like, she bad. Kobe had them chicks, but he wasn't in no clubs.
So what's your take on this now, months later?
Oh, man. Vlad got me snitching. I'm blaming it on you, Vlad.
It's my fault.
I blame it on you. Nah, that's crazy though, cause I ain't gonna lie, I get like 5 DMs a day about that. They're like, yo, man, F you, how you snitch on Kobe? Like, no, I wasn't snitching on Kobe. I was making Kobe a human being to us. You know what I'm saying? A human being. He's not all 24 hours. He was just, working on his fucking free throws. So I'm making a human being. Kobe was a dope individual. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people loved him. That's basically what I was saying. To clean that up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want no Kobe hate. I love Kobe. I'm sorry, Kobe. Kobe, I'm sorry. But y'all know I still don't fuck with the NBA wives, so I don't go fuck how they took it. You feel me? But I'm sorry on the other side. And Steven Jackson. Shout out to Steven Jackson. That's the big bro. Nah, big family fight sometime and shit, you know what I'm saying? I know he hot at me, I was hot at him. We went back and forth, but that's regular shit, man. We'll chop it up when I see him.
Yeah, he was mad at me. Me and him were going back and forth on DMs, He just started talking shit about me for no reason whatsoever. Now, I started DMing him. I said, yo, what's the issue? And I'm like, if you want to call me, here's my number. Man, I would never talk to you or something. I'm like, all right, well, he's like, I'm going to see you in person. I said, okay, come to my show. Here's my address. When do you want to show up? We're ready.
Yeah, Steve, Stack 5.
I'm not scared of Steven Jackson. Like, come on.
He definitely need to grow up a little bit, but I respect it.
I'm trying to stay quiet because, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay quiet. I already know he's going to be like,
it's two different sides of the pillow. But nah, I fuck with Steven Jackson. He cool. Shout out to Matt Barnes. They doing their thing on their show. Shout out to all my former athletes that's taking over the media world right now. That's what's really dope right now.
Facts.
Like controlling the narrative right now. So
facts.
We got to continue that on.
Well, recently a bunch of people were actually talking about Kobe. Jeff Teague said that Kobe wasn't that good defensively.
Lies.
Chandler Parsons says that KD is better than Kobe. D. Wade said that Pau Gasol should have won the Finals MVP. Gilbert Arenas said that Kobe was the next Scottie Pippen. And Tracy McGrady said he would have won more if he was actually with Shaq.
Man, due to Kobe situation, I feel at this point we just got to just love Kobe up, but everybody's fronting on Kobe. Like, stop it.
Just stop.
Stop it. Just stop it. But I don't know why these opinions is coming up like that. We all know Kobe was a monster. Kobe is, one of the GOATs. But I don't know. I never beat LeBron. I beat Kobe. I beat Kobe on the NBA court. So I beat KD. I don't know. I ain't never beat Braun. I tell you that. So
okay,
Braun the GOAT to me. You know what I'm saying? Braun got the 50,000 points. But what'd you say?
Still ain't Jordan.
Oh,
still ain't Jordan.
Shit.
Like, so stop it.
What's interesting is that Bleacher Report actually did an all-time greatest player list, and they put Kobe at number 11. Let me tell you what their top list is up to Kobe. Number 1, Jordan. 2, LeBron. 3, Kareem. 4, Magic. 5, Bill Russell. 6, Shaq. 7, Tim Duncan. 8, Larry Bird. 9, Wilt Chamberlain. 10, Steph Curry. 11, Kobe Bryant. Would you put all those people in front of Kobe?
Hell no.
That'd be tough. Like, those are all better players than Kobe. Also a lot of great players, though. It's a lot of great players, but it's crazy that they don't debate the other sports like that.
Steph
I don't
Curry,
see them
I love
talking
Steph
about
Curry, but he's not even better than
They ain't talking about, Barry Sanders and all them dudes like that. Like, so I like the conversation, but it's like they all goats in their own right. It's different eras. You know what I'm saying? It's a Hall of Fame. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people in there. So, but Kobe, 11th, I ain't get to see Wilt play. So I don't know. And I'm sure whoever making these lists, I'm sure they did it on some type of number scale. But nah, Kobe top 5, hell no. It's not 5 people that ever played a basketball better than Kobe Bryant that walk this earth. Get your ass out of here.
Okay, so let's go down the list of people ahead of him. Would you put Kobe over Steph?
Curry?
Yeah, Steph Curry.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah.
Sebastian?
Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And then you got a couple of guys that's in Kobe's same boat. Outside of that, nah, we gotta respect Kobe. We gotta respect Kobe. Like Kobe is, he put it together. The way he packaged himself. This is out of high school too. FYI, Kobe did come out of high school. I believe the youngest or the second youngest player to play in the NBA. Kobe got drafted at 17. Like, so a lot of people on that list, them dudes was in college, coming out 21, 22. So I don't know. Kobe's story is very unique. And come on, the chips and all that. Stop it. I'm talking about the fro Kobe.
Right.
Oh my Lord.
Right.
Stop it. Not 5 play. But Steph Curry changed the whole culture of how the game is played. So that's why they probably thinking that. But
We love Curry. I love Curry, but better is better, yo. It's just like, can't get, it's like nothing wrong with your eyeballs.
60,
nothing wrong with your
Kobe
eyeballs, man.
scored 60 his last game in the NBA.
Like,
Sheesh.
Well, I mean, I've never heard of this comparison, though, but they actually put Larry Bird 3 slots ahead of Kobe. So Larry Bird versus Kobe. I know that was before your time, but, you're familiar with what Larry did on the court.
I'm going to stay out of that one, bro. Larry Bird, listen, but Larry Bird is big. You know what I'm saying? He's tall, but Larry Bird did not want to see no Kobe Bryant, bro. I'll promise you that. And I love Larry Bird, and Larry Bird was, cool with me. He's a big fan of me, you know what I'm saying, when I was coming into the league. But Larry Bird playing against Kobe, sheesh, I would have loved to see that. But I don't know. Kobe is top 3, 4 to me. I can't think of 3, 4 players that I like better than Kobe. As a player, or if I was picking the team and I'm in the gym and I got Kobe and these guys in there, Kobe not going to be picked after 3 people. Stop it.
Well, what about Tim Duncan? He's number 7 on the list.
Tim is solid.
Tim's solid, but that's what I'm trying to say. That's why you can't really debate that. I don't really like that debate. They all a bunch of GOATs. They all the Hall of Fames, you know what I'm saying? Let them do their thing. Right. I do want to know what's the difference between a Hall of Fame pension and do you get more money for the Hall of Fame? Do you get money for being in the Hall of Fame?
Let's look it up.
Do you get paid for being in the Hall of Fame? I was thinking about that the other day.
Basketball Hall of Fame. No. No salary. No nothing.
Interesting. All right.
This is actually a question one of my members brought up. Do you think that if there was nil deals in high school, would you have gone to college?
If there what?
Like, okay, like the name and likeness deals that, college players are getting now.
Okay.
Like, if you had those available coming out of high school, would you have gone to college instead of going pro?
Maybe. But as an athlete, I was interested in playing in the NBA. Like, I know people are going to throw all the money and all that stuff in front of me. I'm just talking about as a kid, as a basketball lover, I wanted to be on the NBA court. I wanted to have my jersey and all that.
Facts.
That's the real truth as a kid. So I wasn't intrigued with, going on to college to basically play.
Right, because Adidas was already rocking with you while you were in high school, right?
Yeah. Facts.
But,
we was with Nike at first. We was with Nike 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And then we went to Adidas when I got to high school.
Well, you talked about the curse of Adidas.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
For example, Damian Lillard just got injured, and they actually, the Bucks bought out his contract, allowing him to go back to the Trailblazers.
No,
but it's like a $113 million contract over 5 years.
That's not no curse. What you talking about?
Right.
Everything Gucci over there.
Okay. What about James Harden?
Everything Gucci. They both up 600 M's. What we talking about here?
Right.
Ant-Man?
$1 billion. And up $1 billion. What we talk about here? Adidas is corny. That ain't got nothing to do with the individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Adidas is corny, yeah, and I do think Adidas got bad luck, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, it's interesting. I looked on betonline.ag to look at the odds for who's going to win the championship this year. They got the Thunder at plus 275, the Nuggets at plus 700, Cavaliers at plus 750, the Knicks at plus 800, and the Rockets at plus 850. Who do you got?
I think OKC gonna run it back, and I ain't want OK. I'm not a fan of OKC. I'm not a fan of Sam Presti over there. You heard? But OKC gonna run it back. They got the best team, got the MVP. They just paid all their players. They definitely gonna run it back. I believe so.
I think the Nuggets.
The Nuggets?
Yeah.
No, if a major trade happen, that might make a difference. But
yeah, we in the Joker era, and yeah, I think he's gonna claim another one. He's gonna be one of the greats when he's done with it. Facts.
I think the Knicks pulling it off. I'm going with the Knicks.
Hell no.
The Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks had New York lit this year. I ain't gonna lie. We need that same energy.
Now that's who's cursed. I don't know about Tito,
we
but
need
the
that
Knicks is
same
cursed.
energy. We need that same energy. I hope the Knicks do make one little. You know what I'm saying? They running it back because we had such a great year, but we need one piece. We need one piece.
Brunson got tired bringing that ball up.
Well, the Knicks had a great year, but then they ended up firing their coach, Thibodeau,
Yeah,
after almost making it to the finals for the first time in decades.
Yeah, because
Do you think that was a good move?
Because Thibodeau told them, Brunson, Dad got to get out of here. They were like, fuck up out of here. Now you got to go. That's what it was about.
No, that wasn't a good move. Tibbs is a good coach, but if you want to win a championship, you got to continue to, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like if they firing Tibbs, y'all better get a big trade or sign somebody, do a sign and trade with somebody, because Tibbs couldn't be the only problem of why we ain't get a chip this year, or even make it to the finals. That would have took us making it to the finals. I ain't gonna lie. And the New York City was so prepped for the finals. I ain't gonna lie to you. The whole New York was ready.
Yeah, I mean, they brought back Bridges for a 4-year, $150 million deal.
And Bridges I ain't gonna lie, Bridges did his thing. So it's like, what can we really say to him? But he was the only piece we was like kind of willing, like, all right, we might take this guy, that guy for him, but I don't know. I wish they would. If they could get. You want the KD on the Knicks for this?
Hell no. Hell no.
That was the only player that we had because I didn't want OG and them being in no type of trades. So I don't know. I would have took Mikal Bridges for KD straight up. Sorry, Bridges, but you know, KD and Mikal straight up right now. Other than that, we gonna run it back.
If the Knicks get KD, them niggas, no. I'm telling you. Nigga don't do no push-up.
I'm telling you, because niggas get KD for Bridges right there, we'd be Gucci. And we need a couple more off the bench.
All right.
I mean, would you say that SGA is the best player right now in the league?
He's playing the best. Yeah. He's playing the best. The best player in the league, though, SGA is not better than Ant. SGA is not better player than Ant. Not to me. He's playing better than Ant, but he's not a better player to me. Because I don't know. I love his game. I don't know. The way they referee, I got a different opinion on watching how I'm watching OKC. It's like OKC out there 8 against 5 every time they're on the court.
Well, what's interesting is that
he don't know what that means.
That means
you know what that means, Vlad?
No, I don't.
That means the refs is on OKC side. If you even sneeze near this dude, they gonna call a foul. So it's 8 against the 5.
So the 3 referees is on. You know what I'm saying?
So it's 8 against 5.
Okay,
that's all right. We gonna catch you up, Vlad. That's good.
I got you. Well, what's interesting is that Drake used to have a LeBron tattoo, and he covered it up with the SGA tattoo. I guess because LeBron was like jamming out to Not Like Us or something like that.
That's some suspect shit. You getting men tattooing on you for another man.
I was about to say that's
that
good.
Shit some
he
real.
Took the tattoo off, but he put another dude on there.
That's some man. I
don't know. That's Drake. Drake an icon. Icons do certain shit like that. You feel me? I guess you got to do something like that. But Drake and Braun having beef or not being cool, It's corny because I don't know come on, this is top of the top right here. They supposed to be continue to build. If you ask me,
Yeah, I mean, any tattoo of another man that's not like a relative or
that shit
a
just
kid or
crazy,
something like
man.
that to me is just sort of weird.
Relative
Especially someone who's
or
still
Jesus.
living. Like I can understand like putting Bob Marley on your arm or something like that, but
no, it's
yeah, I don't know.
hip hop. I was thinking about I'm about to get thug life. Of course, my shit right here. That's how mad I am. What did they talk about? What's the famous tattoo that Prince did on his face?
Well, he didn't get a tattoo. He just put a symbol.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna actually get.
He just wrote. He just did used a pen or something and just put it on his face.
Oh no,
it wasn't a tattoo.
No, he put something like slave or something like that on his face.
Yeah, no, he put that, but that was just drawn on. It wasn't an actual tattoo.
Oh okay.
Like you didn't see that throughout the rest of his career.
Oh, facts.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a friend of mine, Gilbert Arenas, who's a regular on my show, and I've been on his show as well. He actually got arrested for an illegal gambling operation. Now, he got out the same day, and he said he's snitching, and he's all good. That's my man and all. What do you think about that whole situation?
Man, I'll text them after. I said, welcome to the feds and shit. You know what's so funny? That we was going back and forth the other days, but he didn't respond back to that. He like, man, I don't want to be in no goddamn feds. But I don't think that situation is serious, is it? I think it's something like his name was just on the lease or something like that.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to see none of our top kings that's taking their time to work and bust their ass and build these, foundations to be all of a sudden now the feds knocking on his door. I don't got time for that.
Yeah. So basically what they're saying is that a house that, he was renting, there was an illegal gambling operation, and the guy in the middle of it is this Israeli guy named Yevgeny Gershman, who's an organized crime figure from Israel. And they said they had this huge gambling operation and everyone got busted. Now, if convicted, he's facing up to 5 years in federal prison.
He going to jail. He going to jail.
Who going to jail? Gil?
You think so? I hope not.
Every time they start with basically, that's what you just started with. Every time they say basically, he said a couple of things. You said basically, you said Israel, you said
see that?
You said about 5 things in there right there. I'm like, yeah.
Red flags.
Definitely gonna do a good 3-piece. He be all right. Nah, I'm fucking with you. But I don't Gil is not in the middle of none of that. I believe he was just renting a crib or something like that. He ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't know none of the facts. I'm wishing for the best for him, but they let him out the same day, so I'm thinking that was just like, you know what I'm saying? Let's go dig in and see what they doing over there. This guy's got a lot going on.
Yeah, listen, I don't blame him for cooperating. If he ain't got nothing to do with that shit, yo.
Oh, he's really snitching?
Let me tell you who did.
It's really somebody to snitch on? He's really snitching?
He's really snitching.
So how can you snitch if you don't know nothing? So by even saying that you're a snitch, you're incriminating yourself. So, you know what I'm trying to say? Is if you just rent it and you ain't know if this was going on in your house. So which one is it, Gil? So I think you just should be quiet, Gil.
Whoa.
Well, look, if all he did was rent the house and he said he had no idea what they were doing in that house, then some people could call it snitching. Some people could call it being intelligent. Like if I, had a house that I was renting. I mean, think about it. Look what happened to Mike Vick. A house that he was, that he owned, had a whole bunch of his, bozo friends doing dogfights in that house, and he ends up going to prison. And some of those guys, well, I think one of them was actually his cousin, they all cooperated against him. And they were trying to say he knew about it. So it can get messed up.
Oh, I ain't know it could get mixy like that. I didn't know that. I think I seen his first post after, and I kind of took it like how he took it. You know what I'm saying? He was hopping off the steps. He was in good spirit. I'm like, oh, good. Like, it's nothing. And that's how I'm continuing leaving it in my mind, Vlad. I don't think it's as big as you making it.
Well, there's some other stuff happening with NBA players. Malik Beasley is under federal investigation for gambling related to NBA games. You know about this?
Yes. This is crazy. That's, I don't know. I was thinking about that though, bro. That's a trap right there. That's a trap. And I think they do got to address this right here because now you got the guys, you already know the best thing about the NBA that the fans is on top of you. You know what I'm saying? When they say something, they know that you can hear them. You know what I'm saying? So you got the gambling going on. You got the fans right there on your back. They're catching these moments where the fans is like KD or Braun, like, yo, 2 more points, 2 more rebounds. That's a problem. And then if I'm just playing right now and I knew that they be betting for me to make 2 threes. That's what my spread. Like they want me. I don't get them, so I don't really know the terminology, right? But it's 2 threes they need me to make for that game. I'm gonna be conscious of trying to make them 2 threes, whether I got money on it or not. So I think the gambling is definitely affecting the game, if you ask me.
I love that shit. I'm on side. Yo, one more bucket, baby. One more bucket, baby. We all going to Paris. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, man.
Nah.
I think it's cool.
Nah, did you see the highlights of them showing how he cheated?
I know. So, but
the
imagine
ball came through his hands, went out of bounds. Like, come on, how would you ever know that?
I'm saying, though, but imagine you down, you put your last on it, and come on, that all you need is KD to score one more bucket. Come on, my nigga. That's like, good God. If he hit that shit, yeah, now I can see somebody running to half court celebrating with them. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Oh, yeah. I remember I interviewed Gilbert Arenas, and he was telling me how, like, I think it was Irv Gotti and Ja Rule were sitting, front row at an NBA game, and they had bet on the spread, and they bet something like a couple $100,000. And at the very end, he made a bucket, which made them lose all their money. They said they wanted to kill him afterwards. Like,
oh, so that's the flip side of it.
That's That's the other side of that gambling.
You got security here right here, Madison Square Garden, right? That's what y'all getting paid for, right?
Yeah.
Stop it.
But I think everybody need to tighten up, especially in the culture, especially if you winning. Like, everybody need to tighten up. And then look who's talking. But I think we all need to tighten up. So if you don't got nothing going on, like, everybody focus up, nigga, as a whole. Like, we all need to focus up. Too much feds, it's too much going on right now in America. That's a fact. And where Donald Trump at? Tell somebody holla at Donald Trump, tell him holla at your boy.
Well, yeah, because earlier this year, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier is actually under federal investigation also about unusual betting around the Charlotte Hornets.
And he got a $100 million contract.
Morris, he's charged with fraud for actually writing a check to a Las Vegas casino for $115,000 that ended up bouncing. So there's just a lot of gambling related stuff. I mean, like when you were playing in the NBA, did a lot of the guys gamble like seriously?
Yes. Gambling is huge in the NBA. And shout out my guy Damon Jones, that played in Miami with Shaq and them guys. T. Lue, who coaches in the NBA. I remember being in Vegas gambling with them and shit. And I really don't gamble like that. I'm not, what I'm saying? That's not my, my cup of tea. And they got $10,000 laid across the things, $100,000, $150,000 on the table. I'm sitting there like watching them gamble and shit. And I remember Damon Jones losing, and he blamed it on me. He like, Bassy, you're cheeky, yeah. I win every time. I'm losing now because your ass here. I'm like, God damn. They definitely lost about $100,000 that day. But we gamble on a plane every day. Like when we traveling, we are gambling, but not that type of gambling. We playing a specific game that we play in the league called Bourrée. I'm not sure if you heard of it.
No, I heard about it. No, that was actually the game that Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenton got into that caused the whole gun incident afterwards.
Yeah, 60% of the fights in the NBA is behind Bourrée.
Real? 60% of the fights?
It stems from Bourrée. Yeah, because we start making jokes. Yeah. We start making jokes. You start losing your money. Everybody laughing at you. Oh, yeah, boy. Get him. That's a fact.
Well, yeah, I interviewed a former NBA ref named Tim Donaghy, who actually got federally indicted for betting on his own games as well. And what he said was actually interesting. He said that he didn't actually, he didn't make certain calls so he would win, but coming into a game, he knew who the refs were and he knew which refs didn't like certain players. So based on that, like for example, Allen Iverson, like a bunch of refs hated him at one point over like certain incidents and so forth. So he's like, okay, if I know Iverson and this particular ref are going to play together, I'm going to bet against Iverson's team because I know he'll get a whole bunch of unnecessary fouls.
Yeah, I'm glad.
And that's how he would win consistently.
Facts. That's facts. And I'm glad Donaghy told his story like that because a lot of people don't believe the behind the scenes in the NBA, right? So that sets the whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? How the referees ref you, how they interact with you. Believe me, because I remember one time A ref came like towards the bench, and I went like this to dap him, and he didn't dap me up. And you know what he said to me? He was a black ref, pussy ass. Talking about, oh, I can't do that. It look like we. I'm like, yo, pussy ass out of here. You can't dap me. If fucking Shaq or one of them would have put their hand out, he would have dapped them. So that's the same thing. And me getting in trouble in the NBA, the refs took offense to that more than anybody, if you ask me, because they treated me like that from the moment after. I promise you, they wouldn't even let me get too excited on the court. You feel me? You know, you can't play all nice sometimes. Sometimes it's the heat of the moment. We out there dog eat dog.
It's an emotional game.
And the referees could basically dictate how you play by controlling the whistle. Calling fouls on you, you swung through. They call for the first time. They call a walk on you, little shit like that. And now, next thing you know, you look at them. I'm just staring at the ref one time. I'm looking at. He said, and I was looking like, damn. I caught on late that they was signaled. Soon he get a little excited, tech his ass. So we calm his ass down. Facts.
They definitely control the game through the referee, through the whistle.
And my dad used to say that. My dad used to be like, boy, I'm watching the game. Like, God damn, the refs will get you. But shout out to Tom Darnicky telling his motherfucking story because he got his truth. Even though he cheated, I don't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? He cheating NBA players. A lot of dudes that kind of fuck with their career, I'm sure. But you need to tell your story because people will be saying shit like that and they be like, nah, that's not true. Yes, the refs be cheating.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because of his whole situation, the NBA actually changed up the rules where people don't know who the refs are until like a couple minutes before the game starts.
Oh, wow.
That's suspicious. That's even more suspicious.
That's even, maybe.
Yeah, because it seemed like I said, you don't know what's going on. And right before game one of the finals, what's the ref that be hitting on Chris Paul all the time? Motherfucker. I'm like, yo, this is some bullshit. So I don't be understanding how they don't got a lot of that shit more organized and shit. So I think they use in all the sports, from referees to umpire, they use from definitely boxing, the scorecard and all that. I think they control the game through that mechanism, like all that.
For sure.
You know what I'm trying to say?
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, you played with Shaq before.
Yep. Big Diesel.
Now, Shaq recently threatened to punch Robert Griffin III in the face over his comments over Angel Reese. You heard about this?
Yeah, Shaq is sweating little shorty. She too young for Big Dog. Big Daddy, get up out of here. I don't really know RG3 either though, but so I don't really know the whole situation, but I know it was something about him making a comment about Angel Reese, and nobody should be hating on that girl. You know what I'm saying? She fly, she a good player. You know, let her do her thing. But Shaq ain't punching nobody in the face. Stop it.
Well, this is what he said. He said, tweet another monkey post about my girl Angel Reese. I'm going to punch you in your fucking face. It's enough. I don't usually do stuff like this, bro, but just stop it. You got your job. You got your podcast. Leave my Angel Reese alone.
Something like that.
I'm the one calling her, telling her not to respond. Fucking stop it. That's the last time, okay? Thank you.
Well,
he called her a monkey?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he said, tweet another monkey post.
Oh.
I think that was necessary. I think it was called for. We were talking about, like, sometimes you gotta, sometimes a good punch in the face.
Change everything up.
Yeah.
Quick. But yeah, a couple of people need to be punched in the face on these podcasts. So if we're gonna punch him in the face, you feel me? Because a couple people need to line up.
And Shaq afford it. He could take that one if he want to take it for the team. But yeah, so when he's telling you gonna punch you in the face, he could, might get punched in your face. So just shut up.
Well, speaking of the WNBA, what do you think about Dildo Gate?
The what?
Dildo Gate.
Oh my Lord, with them throwing the joints on the court.
The fourth green dildo has hit the court on the WNBA
crazy.
game.
That's crazy. That's people that's trying to go viral. I don't know. Did they send a message behind it yet? We ain't get no message behind that? Nah, that's people that's trying to go viral, throwing dildos on the WNBA court. I don't know what's the message behind that, but that's stop it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're saying that you can't bring bags into WNBA games now because they're trying to stop the whole dildo thing.
So what? They got somewhere to stash it until
right, that's what I'm saying.
They got somewhere to stash it. For real.
Right. Hey, they may want to check the players. They may be stashing it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I mean, the whole thing about WNBA players with the whole pay us what you owe and pay us what's fair. I mean, what's your take on that?
Shit, if the money there, they definitely should pay them. But I don't agree with people saying, "Oh, they don't make money." It doesn't. Y'all, we wouldn't have known. The public would not been able to put that together. That the WNBA don't, you know what I'm saying,
Generate money.
generate money. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It falls off the NBA, right? Most of the money comes through the NBA. So why not pay them more?
Well, the NBA owns the WNBA, right?
Yes.
So it all flows to the same company, ultimately.
Yeah. Because I do feel that, because if they go into Russia and all these places and they able to pay them $1 million, why you can't pay them $1 million here in America?
Yeah, but why you trying to get girls to do it like the boys? So I think they should lower the rim. If you wanted to make money, I think you should lower the rim. I think you have a faster start to break out, and then you let girls do everything else in thongs. Why the fuck a bitch can't cross over in thongs? So that's how I feel.
Change the unis and lower the rims.
Fact.
That's Peter McRollum at that time. I'm saying give them a definitely better. Well, how much they making? What's the basic salary in the WNBA right now?
All right, so let's say top WNBA player salary.
That's Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Of course. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Well, okay, so the highest paid WNBA player of the 2025 season is not Caitlin Clark. It's actually Kelsey Mitchell of the Indiana Fever with a base salary of $250,000.
Whew, that's tough. That is tough. Yeah, nah, I stand with the girls. Yeah, pay them. They gotta be able to pay them more than that. Or let's make it a basic salary where everybody get $250. I guess.
Yeah.
But $250 is the highest.
But from my understanding, from the existence of the WNBA, they never been in the green. They always been in the red. So how y'all expecting to pay them more or pay them everybody equally if y'all it never returned a profit?
I don't know. That's on them. It's they.
So I wasn't trying to sound reckless. I was just trying to say, you want to fill it up more. If you want to bring more attention to it, just make them, do different stuff. So I don't really know. I think they should lower the rim.
Lower the rim.
It don't gotta be thongs. I meant to see it should be like cat suits or something. You can play with the uniforms though. You trying to make them do like men. You gotta jump them 10 feet, a 10 feet thing. Come on. You gotta get a girl to jump 10 feet like a man. Stop it. It's not the same game. It's not the same game.
Because the ball is smaller, so that makes sense.
It's not the same game.
So that's the only thing that they adjust is the ball. Because the WNBA ball is smaller than the NBA ball.
Well, Shannon Sharpe. He allegedly paid $23 million to his accuser and then got fired by ESPN after paying all that money.
Jeez. He really, I wonder, what's the real, what's the real math on that? Like, he had to write her a $23 million check or whatever the number was?
We don't know. I mean, that's the rumor. Originally, she sued him for $50 million, and he actually publicly announced that they offered her 10 and she turned it down, which is crazy. Now, if you turn down 10, 23 sounds like a reasonable number, especially because, it looked like he was going to keep his job, because he even announced, he's like, I'm taking a leave from ESPN, but I'll be back for football season. He never came back.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you already know. Once they got you in the cooker, you in the cooker. You heard? You got to go do something different, because they definitely threw him in the cooker with that. That was that came out of nowhere. That's from his personal life, but just doing too much. Just doing too much. But $23 million? Imagine somebody that know him was trying to get 20 bands out of him. He wrote that check for $23 million quicker than somebody that needed 20 bands out of him, I'm sure.
Crazy.
Which is crazy.
Man. Look, right after that verdict was announced, that girl wrote a whole passage saying she's retiring from OnlyFans. Like she was Tom Brady retiring from the NFL. Like it was like some big event that she's now retiring. And there's another post where she said that she just got her body done and she's recovering from surgery. So she's getting right to it.
One for the city girls. The hot boys, we had our time. That's one for the city girls. You feel me? They stay out here fighting back. That's one for the girl, but shit.
No, but you see, I like that video that went viral. I don't like it, but the video went viral where what's the lady, the female lady, comedy lady that was telling Shannon Sharpe, sit your ass down, you 56-year-old, sit your ass down. And he's standing there, Monique, right? My bad, Monique.
Yep.
He's standing there with that face like, not me. Like, it can happen to everybody else, but not me. And so it's just like, yo, see? Can't tell niggas nothing.
Jeez.
Yep. Not me turned into me too.
Facts. And Vlad, you big time too, so we don't want to make sure they don't come get your ass.
Hey, man, who knows, man?
Look,
These days, someone can come out from 30 years ago and claim that I beat him up or something. I don't know, man. no evidence. Cause look,
all I know, I'm gonna be mad. I see you write somebody a $23 million check. I'm like, this nigga.
I don't have $23 million to write him. You know, we gonna have to just go to court.
Like, we'd have been on the phone for 8 hours trying to get 20 bands out of Vlad. He just wrote a $23 million check. Shit crazy.
Well, did you and Diddy ever have a relationship?
Come on, man. What type of relationship
I mean,
is that?
did you know him at all?
I mean,
I knew Diddy. I interviewed him.
Dude, I know you was talking to my brother when you asked that question.
He wasn't talking to me, so he wasn't talking to me, so I think he was talking to me, so.
I mean, I'm from New York, man. You know, of course I know Diddy. I've been around Diddy, but I never been to no Diddy parties. But I'm on Diddy's side. I don't want Diddy to go to jail. You feel me? I know he had his situations, whatever. But I'm on Diddy's side. Y'all better free Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he ain't kill nobody. Cassie was tripping. That whole situation, that situation right there, sheesh, that shit right there, that is too personal right there. Cassie is a beast. Cassie is, and I seen Cassie one time at All-Star. I was with my ex-wife, and Cassie was behind us, and my ex-wife was facing forward, and I turned around, and I seen Cassie. I'm like, God damn, Cassie fine. I tapped my shorty. I said, look. I'm fast, swear to God. I said, look. We sitting there staring at Cassie like this. If I would have knew what the vibe was, fuck. I was thinking about that shit like, damn, bro. I should have said, Cassie, listen. Feel me? Holla at us. But yeah, I ain't know Cassie was like that. Shout out to Cassie too. Cassie caught the 30M bag. City Girls is up this summer. City Girls won this summer, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
This was definitely a City Girl summer, and I think that Cassie's
hot girl summer. That's what they say. It's a hot girl summer. Sorry, shit crazy.
Yeah, man. Cassie walked away with $30 million.
30.
And look, I've said honestly that Cassie's the villain in this whole situation. That's what I said. People got mad at me, but at the end of the day, it was proven in court that Diddy never raped her. He never drugged her, and she was there on her own. Like, when she filed the civil suit, right, she said, the last time I saw Diddy, he raped me. But then when she got on the stand, and you know, it's a lot different when you're on the stand than filing the civil suit, she said, well, yeah, but then we met up one other time afterwards, and we had consensual sex. Really? This is different than what you just said. That makes a whole different story right there.
That phone call when she was with the husband, Diddy right in the courtroom too. I don't know. Shout out to them. I'm glad that shit is, you know what I'm saying, what it is, but I hope Diddy get to walk free at this point. I don't, you know, we ain't trying to see Diddy in jail for no, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the time he in jail, that's enough of the shit he did. Because now you shouldn't be hitting on a woman. Even though, you know what I'm saying, I would have been completely offended when I was younger. I was probably a little naive or whatever. I just didn't know better. But as a 40-year-old, listen, chicks will make, I've seen enough experience where chicks will make you go crazy like that. So Diddy paying his debt to society, they should let him out on his next bail or whatever when they sentence him. Other than that, the City Girls is up. We be back next summer, you heard?
Yeah, Diddy, come home and do all that pro-black shit you wanted to do. Don't wait till you get in trouble. No, I'm trying to say do all that shit. Do all that shit you want to do. He was talking about creating the third political party or some shit like that. Yeah, do all that shit.
No, I disagree. Diddy, go take your money and go with your family and go sit your ass down, chill. Super facts. Because he still got money, so they try to bring his ass back in the cooker. And that's another thing about Diddy that's different than a lot of people. Diddy got real money. You know what I'm saying? Like real money, like write you a check for 50 mil and go about his business type money. So I don't know. Shout out Diddy.
Well, yeah, originally Trump was talking about actually pardoning him, but then he, I guess, saw the videos of Diddy talking shit about him during his first election. So now he's saying, I'm probably not going to do it.
You got to be careful who you talking shit about. You got to be careful who you talking shit about. That's the real fact. And what's funny is, well, Donald Trump, I met you, and you know I'm a big fan of yours. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I did things in the community like you. Donald Trump built Kaiser Park over in my community. This is years ago, like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. He put like $10 million into Brooklyn and built Lincoln football field over and all that shit like that. So all the stuff I'm doing in the community, I'm kind of like was following suit from during that time right there. And I got to meet Donald Trump when I was living upstate. My next door neighbor was actually friends to him and went and introduced me to him on the golf course and all that stuff. So, you know, pardon Diddy and then come pardon me. My situation, so like I started to scream out to Trump, but I know people got real shit going on, so I want him to focus on what's really going on and not be focused on me. But definitely free Diddy. Don't be trying to let them cook Diddy for no 20 years right now. Stop it.
Well, Fat Joe has been in the news recently. Now, that big record game between Terror Squad and Rockefeller, were you involved in that at all?
Yes.
Okay. What exactly happened in that game?
Oh, the game that never happened?
Exactly.
Sheesh. Well, Fat Joe was up there running Rucker. Y'all already know that vibe. And then Jay came through with the Brooklyn swag, took over the Rucker, made an S. Carter, Reebok, and all that type of stuff. It was going back and forth. Everybody know that story. Everybody know the fade to black story. Then you gave him the lean back, the hit song Lean Back. My team didn't have to play to win the championship. I know that had Jay hot, but Fat Joe and Jay cool. Nobody care about that. That's old shit.
So you were actually supposed to play for Jay that day?
Yeah, I was playing for Jay.
Okay. Were you disappointed when the game never happened?
I was super disappointed, especially how it happened, where we was all up there, we was all on the bus ready to get off. But the truth why the game didn't happen is Terror Squad was inside the park already. And when we got off the bus and when we got to the security, they wanted to stop everybody that was with us, search everybody, which is cool, right? But then they only want to let a certain amount of people to walk in with us. So it's basically the team plus 20 people. When we already know they got 500, 600 people with them. So that was the real stance of why Juan Dubs did not go into that to the court, because they want to let everybody that was with us inside that court.
So like, who was on your team?
Me, Shaq, L.O., Michael Jordan. We brought Will Chamberlain out of retirement that day because they had Bill Russell. Cause I said the fuck Fat Joe got Bill Russell? We called Wilt. Will came in, you feel me? We made sure he had his knee pads, everything was straight. Isaiah Thomas was backing me up. You know what I'm saying? Not the little Isaiah Thomas, the OG Isaiah Thomas. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Well, Fat Joe and Jadakiss have a podcast, and there's been some tall tales. And at one point, Fat Joe talked about how when he was in high school, he robbed 70 people in a school gym.
We believe him.
He robbed so many people.
We believe him.
We believe him. Stuff he was stealing from them.
We believe him.
No, you got to be unique, yo. You got to really think about hip hop itself is a unique thing. How it came, you know what I'm trying to say. So just imagine this unique thing. Nobody really know. It comes from this, the Bronx, whatever case may be, predominantly black neighborhood, and you are a Spanish kid in the middle of all this in 1980s, whatever. I believe Fat Joe life is that ill. I believe him. I think it was that ill. All his friends was damn near black and all that coming up and all that. So, Fat Joe is a funny motherfucker. Fat Joe stories
is hilarious, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Jada, stop interrupting that nigga. Let him go off, yo.
he be trying to save him. He be trying to save him sometimes. That shit be hilarious.
Let him go off, yo.
That should be hilarious.
Well, you're still going through your divorce right now.
Yeah.
And I guess that child support took $500,000 out of your account.
Yep.
And the government took $180,000 out of that.
Jeez, man, I got all the joints. Yeah, shit be crazy. You know, in America, child support crazy. It's one of the biggest businesses we got going on in America. Big business.
Well, I mean, child support is child support. You can't get around that. But did you have a prenup when you got married?
Nope. No
Is that
prenup.
one of your big regrets right now?
No. No. That shit regular. Not having a prenup, no, I should not. I guess it would have. Yes, I want to get a divorce, and I can't get a divorce right now. And if I had a prenup, they kind of know what it is. But so I don't know. I'm not really even focused on that. But I definitely got to focus on that type of shit this year and get that divorce done. But our communication has been low, so maybe I got to step our communication up. And shit, she keep getting cashed out on shit, so I wouldn't get a divorce yet either.
Well, I actually looked up a few things. So Michael Jordan paid his ex-wife $168 million in his divorce.
Oh my Lord.
God,
You should ask him. Do he regret not getting a goddamn divorce? Nah.
Yeah.
I mean,
he had no prenup.
Yeah, the no prenup is crazy. And I already told y'all, like, the NBA need to do automatic prenups. The NBA, the National Basketball Association, needs to do automatic prenups. So all the money that you accumulate under the NBA accounts, that should be for the player. No prenup, and nothing could touch that.
Look, I'm going to tell all the men that are watching this right now, every single one. If your fiance refuses to get a prenup, she's not the one. I'll just say blanket wise, she's not the one. Because a prenup doesn't mean she gets nothing.
Yeah,
but
that's a
you
fact.
don't want to leave it open-ended because 60% of marriages end in divorce? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's like playing Russian roulette.
It's
hoping
like,
for the best.
Oh, you don't trust me? No. That's what dudes be, because dudes got to stop lying. Dudes lie so much. You're like, yo, bro, I don't really trust you like that. We need this little prenup.
Right.
I don't know why they so also gullible. Like they really start believing the hype. Like my dude, what's my dude, the football dude, Travis Hunter. So it's like I'm not no shots or nothing. But you know what I'm trying to say. So I would want to tell somebody like Travis, yo, take your time, homeboy, run the block. Like you gonna see something crazy, and you know what I'm saying. He want to go do it so fast. I'm just like you're gonna be tight 5 years from now. And then when Shorty come for half, and then it's like we told you.
I'll live that shit right there.
Oh.
I'm worried about that kid. I'm worried about him. I know he's a superstar though, Ghost.
He
He
is.
is a stud though.
He is. I'm just saying.
Duper stud. But I'm super worried about him. But then again, it might help that they're in the spotlight together. Cause that might have helped me and Shorty being in the spotlight together. It was like I was in the spotlight and she was like, you feel me? I think that might help them. But he's gonna have a rude awakening, bro.
Remember this part. Trust me, man.
She already set it up with her family. Like in 10 years, we grabbing 200 that.
Thank you.
That's a fact.
Thank
They
you.
already got their
Let
other
him go
plans.
run the numbers up, and right after you,
And he probably would look at me and say, "Oh, he crazy. He's wrong." It's impossible, especially the temperature. Capitalism going on in America, it's impossible for people to function around $500 million without drawing some type of attachment to it. I promise you that.
Well, yeah. So with Jordan's second wife, he signed a prenup with her. And the deal with her is if they've been married under 10 years, she gets $1 million a year for every year that they've been married. But if they last more than 10 years, which at this point they have, she gets $5 million a year for every year that they've been married.
Good God Almighty.
Now, he's worth $3.5 billion, so it's really just nothing to him, right? For her, it's a lot. For him, it's nothing. But imagine no prenup.
Jeez.
You earned $1 billion during the course of that marriage. You know, she gets $500 million. That's a whole lot better than $50 million.
That's a whole lot better. I ain't gonna lie. Prenups you gotta be able to print a prenup out. They need to make that shit more regular. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Cause nobody getting prenups.
You know what's ill is this came on my timeline. I guess there was this billionaire who had a younger wife, and they got married in the Dominican Republic, right? 10 years later, she divorced him, only to find out they were already divorced because in DR, you could get divorced without telling the other person. So right after they got married, he filed for divorce. So the whole time they weren't really married. So when she filed for divorce, they were already divorced.
Oh my Lord. That's crazy. That was one for the city boys. That's one for the city boys.
Well, Well, look, man, I appreciate you coming in. Keep your head up. I'm going to see you in 6 months. That time will pass, man. Just spend the time, read some books, focus on yourself, stay out of trouble. Make sure you don't extend that time.
Facts.
Don't get into any fights or whatever else. Are you going to be in one of these like kind of country club kind of prisons?
You already know. I'm famous.
There you go. Right. So you're not going to be in a serious, you're not going to be there with lifers and whatever else. You're going to be okay. Do your time, man. Get out. And listen, man, we'll get to work once you get out.
Facts. Get back to smiling on them. Yeah.
That's what it is. Until next time. Peace.